Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I know that since you are here, there is something in this for you, and there's only one way to find out what that is. A few lovebirds just flew by, and they are these gorgeous little parakeet, parrot type birds that are not native to where I live here in the Southwest, but they do live here. And it feels really a lot of this. It's aligned with this energy that I have been feeling, channeling for months. But it's been so much, and that's why I've had to take a break from sharing, because I feel like I could cry right now. It's been so intense. This energy of colonization, immigration, and the bad words that kind of come with that. I don't want to say bad. How can I say, what's a different way I could say that? The more harsh but still true words. Very, very much trigger warning. Okay, bear with me here. I'm hearing genocide. I'm hearing enslavement. I'm hearing torture, rape. I'm hearing all of the bad things. And I just feel like I can't move on without talking about it, because maybe this is significant for you. It's been significant for me to be doing a lot of ancestral research, and I have discovered and tapped more into my very small lineages in Latin America and Africa, specifically West Africa. And I've been just doing a lot more research, watching a lot more film, and listening to a lot of that music, and just really tapping in, because this energy is so strong, and I know that it needs to be talked about more, and it needs to be talked about more from people with my complexion, from people with the privileges available to them to be able to talk about these things. And it's hard. I'm stumbling right now, because it's so, I literally, I feel like I could bawl my eyes out right now. This energy is so intense, because there has been so much ancestral, I keep hearing the word torture, and it happens within our own family systems, right? Because it's passed down, this colonization perspective back to the lovebirds, because they came here because of people's irresponsibilities. It's the humans. We always messing up because we're always trying. I mean, let's talk about evolution. Let's talk about how we've come so far as a species, and then we'll get into this. Let's talk about how far we've come as a species, and the fact that we've come so far because of how much we've collaborated, because of how much we have been curious about other worlds, other lands, other experiences, other perspectives, other tools, other resources. We've been curious, and there's people still to this day moving across the world, across the country, all the time, moving. We're constantly moving, we're constantly learning, constantly evolving. The only reason that we even look different is because of our extreme capacity to survive, our extreme capacity to adapt. All Homo sapiens, which is every single human being alive right now, all of us originated on the continent of Africa. And the only reason that we look different is because we adapted and evolved to better fit the spaces that we had found, that we had finally figured out how to adapt to, right? So my complexion is really light because most of my ancestors come from a region that doesn't get as much sun as Africa, right? So gosh, this energy is so intense. It's so, I can feel it so heavy. And I keep seeing that 11 and even 12s lately. So it really feels like that full completion. I'm hearing almost, because, right, Western astrology is 12, but Eastern is 13. But I'm not going to talk about that today. I'm here to talk about the really sensitive stuff, if you haven't noticed. So if so far what I'm saying right now resonates somehow, some way, or maybe even just oppression in different ways, right? Because I'm queer, so maybe that resonates. Maybe there's something else here, but I know that since you're here, there is something here. So, Spirit, thank you for allowing me, for pulling those words out through me. Let's continue this. Spirit source, please reveal what you can through these cards and my words so that I may offer peaceful perspectives and the necessary knowledge to whomever is listening at the very moment that it is encouraging, nourishing, and applicable to the expansion of their present experience. Thank you, and Ashe. We speak with peace, we speak with love, and I don't have the full language for everything. I'm gonna start by saying that I am here learning just as much as I am here teaching, okay? So if there's other perspectives that anybody feels called to share, please do, because even if I don't read the comment, there might be somebody else that reads the comment and finds resonance, you know? My goal here is to establish community. My goal here is to find the people that really, you know, that really resonate with everything that I've said so far, that feel the weight of all of the pain in the world and want to do something about it. Well, we're stronger together, so let's show them that. Let's prove that by talking about the really hard things. We can do hard things. We can have the hard conversations. And it might be a little sticky, icky, uncomfortable. I'm hearing icky, vicky, ew, ew. Fairly Odd Parents, because we've got our angels and our godparents here with us. We have our ancestors here with us. We are freeing ourselves from the chains that have been placed upon us by the oppressive systems around us, by the patriarchy, the capitalistic BS, this crazy BS. Again, you're here because you hear me and you know what I'm talking about. So let's go. We're gonna pull some cards here, Spirit. What else can we talk about? Allow me to deliver this with the most sensitivity and clarity. I was gonna say claritivity? Sensitivity and clarity. Sensitivity and clarity. Wow, okay. Yeah, let's take another deep breath. This is painful. This is extremely painful. And I don't even know the fullness of it. I don't. Not in this lifetime. I mean, I know quite a bit of privilege, but you know, I've been in therapy plenty of years in my life. Been studying psychology plenty of years in my life. I was taking psych meds for my entire adolescence. I've been 5 years off of them, and we're celebrating that right now. 5 years since taking psych meds and utilizing different, I'll say, herbal concoctions and other dietary things to support myself. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. And just like these cards right here, just like this energy that I'm channeling right now, it has not been easy. It has been painful, bloody. And I'm also feeling too with this feminine energy and this blood, I'm getting like very much just like that, the lineage of the mother, right? That womb, the magic that comes with the womb. It's a lot because it's literally a gateway to earth, is the womb. And people take it so lightly. People use it as a gateway and then they treat the life that comes out like crapola. Right? 25 could be significant here with this 2 and this 5. Whew. I'm gonna pull a few more cards so that we can get a fuller message out here, because this energy is just so intense and I need a little bit more direction here, Spirit. Thank you so much. How can we help this collective? How can we support them? How can we guide them? Oh my gosh, the energy is so floppy. Why did I just hear floppy? Okay, what do we have? Yeah. There has been a lot of energy that you've had to put into your heart space right now. 5 cards just flew out, and on the ends, we have 2 knights. There has been a lot of action towards your heart, towards your spirit, to heal these wounds of your lineage. Oh, I'm shaking right now. I'm literally shaking, because if your ancestors don't do the work, then you have to. You can't sweep anything under the rug for too long. It's a lot. It's a lot. And with this Knight of Wands too, this has probably been particularly sensitive for you these past couple months, like it has been for me. And whenever you're finding this, it's meant to find you, of course. But these last few months, here we are. Today is June 1st, 2026 that I'm recording this. And this card has been coming out like crazy, highlighting since February this year of the fire horse that we walked into. After leaving the year of the snake, shedding all that old skin, making space for the new. With that sunflower right there, I'm hearing Sunflower Soul by Londrell. You haven't been yourself since some time ago. Because you have to go to the beginning to get to the end. You have to focus on the vision to get yourself there. And it's gonna result in a lot of discomfort. Dropping it. It's gonna result so much discomfort. It's crazy. Like I'm laughing about it, because some people, they use humor to make themselves feel better about circumstances. And maybe that resonates, and maybe you're really into that, or maybe you really don't like when your family does that. I'm getting a lot of like masculine energy in that. Like that is such a masculine thing to do, you know? And that doesn't mean that it's only men that do it. It's just people that are tapped into their masculine in that way, or people who are using their masculine to shield the sensitivities. I'm seeing the Strength card in my mind's eye because they're scared, right? It's fear, right? That's the patriarchal energy, right? It's the I need to make people feel bad for being different because I'm not actually confident in what I am type energy, right? It's because I can't be open. I'm not curious because I'm judging instead. Because you cannot learn from something and judge it at the same time. And to learn, you have to be curious. To learn, you have to be open. And I need some water. Because this, whoa. I just looked at the 19, the 9, and the 10. Wow. Maybe 19 is significant. I just heard Gen Z. That's wild. This energy is so intense, and I'm so grateful for the synchronicities to help guide me through this, because I'm sweating. Let's keep it going, Spirit. What else can we talk about? Yeah. The new beginning that this is. The new beginning that you've been embracing. Focusing on the love and light. I'm feeling really called to look at the rainbow streamers on his backpack. So yeah, LGBTQ plus could be significant. Doesn't have to be. Maybe you're just someone who's open, because I mean, if you're here watching me talk, then you must be open to something a little different. Oh yeah. Whoa, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, big time that masculine energy. And a lot of that strife. We've got 2 5s out here now. Check that out. You've been putting in the work to heal this masculine. Just heard father wounds. The divine masculine is a tricky, tricky bit, because both sides kind of struggle with each other. It's a battle, the masculine and the feminine. I'm seeing a yin yang. It's a battle, the darkness and the light, but they need each other to exist. Because you don't know something is light unless you put it next to something that's dark. You can't see the stars until the sun stops lighting up the sky. So you have to shine light on the pain to heal it. You have to feel it to heal it, and it's not been easy. And you were probably the only one putting in this work. I'm hearing black sheep of the family. You might be the only one putting in this work. interesting. I'm feeling really called to look at the stars right here next to that red. So yeah, colonization, democracy type-ish, but like, where's the democracy? I'm just saying. Let's keep it going, Spirit, because I feel the heaviness of this and I'm already excited to be done with it. Maybe that's significant. You're like, I'm tired of healing. I'm tired of processing. When is that going to be over? When is that going to be done? When am I going to get this? When am I going to get this? When am I going to be finally living in this vision of peace, harmony, and unity? When? I could use it right now. I could use a friend right now. We all need somebody to lean on. I could use a brother. I could use a sister. I want my children. I want family. I want my tribe. Where they at? Wow. Well, you got to put yourself out there. You got to put yourself out there. Sometimes you have to go places where you might find that community, to find that community. And right now we have a lot of resources available to us, i.e. the internet. Yeah. 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 Wow. It's been catastrophic. It's been catastrophic. But for things to be magical, you have to see them that way. And so you could see your pain that way. And I know. There are some pains that I could never even fathom in this lifetime. I know. And my heart goes out to all of them, all of the people that know pain, just probably all of us for the most part. Unless you really grew up cozy with parents that really loved you, with a society that really loves you and really treats you that way. But those aren't really the societies that are advertised. That's not really home of the free, land of the brave. But you're still focused. You're still focused. You're really holding true to this vision. You're really holding true to this vision. And that doesn't have to include kids or like a dog. Like, you know, maybe you have a vision that's like, nah, I kind of want to be like alone in my van a little bit or whatever. I want to travel the world by myself or just with my partner, or just with my best friend or whatever. Okay, yeah. Whatever that vision is, you know, your vision can be different than somebody else's vision, but it's gonna be the same as some people's too. Okay, Spirit, let's get some Oracle. Just kidding. Spirit wants to do some emphasis and clarity with another tarot deck. Why not? Why not? I'm feeling really called to look at the Scarab, which makes me think of Spirit's been guiding me to watch certain movies, and one of them has been Harry Potter type movies, and I just remembered, what did he say? Hermione said, cats were like revered by the Egyptians, and he was like, yeah, so were dung beetles. So maybe Egyptian history or Egypt is significant to you somehow. Back to Africa, you know, different part of Africa. Whoa. See, and that's even sensitive too. Okay, wow, Spirit. I'm feeling called to really speak on like the advancement of civilization, right? So we've needed each other. We've needed each other to advance. And the biggest reason that a lot of areas has advanced as much as they have has been slavery, right? So trigger warning, right? But see, like, I'm tripping on my words because I'm like, this, like, I know how hard it is to talk about. I mean, it's hard to talk about these things because I'm seeing the devil in my mind's eye because of the chains. Because it's so intense to put our own people in chains. Like, that's crazy when you really think about it. The only reason that racism exists and can exist is because race exists. And the only reason that race exists is because it was invented, popularized to do exactly what it's doing right now. Separate and segregate people. But we are all human beings. We wiped out all of the other humans that we've ever come into contact with because of how much more adaptable we were than them. Because of, dare I say, how much more intelligent, but our intelligence is becoming oppressive in a way. We're creating artificial intelligence because we can't invest in our own. I don't know. And that's not to say that AI doesn't provide solid tools. Absolutely. It absolutely does. But I mean, again, any tool is as good as its user, right? And so if you're using it to be, you know, expansive, you're using it as a tool and not as just a crutch so that you can avoid doing something that maybe would benefit you, that's different. Wow, Spirit. Yeah. Slavery's been happening all over for a long time, and it's still happening in different ways all over. And there are people who want to project all of this hate, fear, and lack onto the history, and there's a lot of blame game happening. And yeah, of course, there are certain types of people historically that have been more responsible for certain things, more public about certain things, right? But it's not so black and white. And it is so hard to say that. But I need to get it out because I'm tired of not talking about it. I'm tired of it because it's the truth. It's the truth. It's not so black and white. They've made it black and white. They've made it seem black and white so that somebody can have something to blame, right? Because ideals are easier to spread when you can find a common enemy. But we're not enemies because we're sharing the same floating rock and have integrated a lot and still utilize tools and resources created or established by others. Okay, Spirit. Help me finish this up. Thank you so much. Let's get some elaboration, some clarity on these cards here. The cards came out 5, 4, 3. I just heard 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe dance is significant, especially with this 5 of Wands here. I'm seeing the 4 of Wands in my mind's eye too. Maybe dance is significant, but also this is just like we're following the right steps. And I know that the people that are operating out of love are going to hear my words with love. Right? Because it's hard for me to say these words, but I'm saying them because I think it's important that we talk about these things. I think it's important that we honor the reality that we've had different realities. Yeah. Yeah, we're protected by spirit. Protected by spirit. This is gonna find the right people. Yeah. 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 Okay. Which oracle deck do we want to pull from? Sacred Destiny. This is one of my favorites. I think this was actually my first oracle deck that I've ever... One of my firsts. If not my first. So grateful for the patience. So grateful for this time. So grateful for this space. We are in alignment. In divine alignment. Guided and supported. With the balance. Thank you, Spirit. How else can we provide perspective here today? Falling over, tripping over my words, Spirit. How else can we provide perspective? Okay, so 4 cards flew out, but the one card that flew out face up, taking risks. Taking risks. And I just went on a hike the other day. Like, what was that, 2 days ago? And the mountains literally look just like that because I live here in Arizona. That's Spirit here with us. That's my big brother here with us. Taking risks. Why? Because the reward. You have to begin with the end in mind. Oh my gosh. At the bottom of this tarot deck is the High Priestess. Divinely guided and supported. I just wanted to move the deck out of the way so that I could have room for these other cards that flew out. Yeah, we have room for the new beginnings. We have to make space for the new beginnings. Yeah, we have to make space for the opportunities of enlightenment. Okay. See, and that's the thing about me. That's the real balance about me, is I'll go through a minute where I'm chilling, where I'm slow. And then Spirit gonna pop off and just bring out that masculine. Okay. We're gonna start with taking risks. Let's read about it. Oh, we flipped right to new beginnings. Do you want me to start there, Spirit? Let's start there. The sun. The sun is the most profound symbol of life itself, large enough to fit 1 million Earths inside of it. Dripping sweat as we speak. Because the sun is here, the heat is here, the masculine is here, the fire is here, the solar plexus is here. In ancient cultures, the largest of the rising sun represented hope and the understanding that life begins again fresh and new. Life begins again, fresh and new. Responsible for the climate and weather of the earth, it is the symbol of birth and rebirth. I'm seeing the Empress in my mind's eye. It can also represent resurrection and a time of profound spiritual awakening. It symbolizes the end of darkness and the beginning of light. Were we just talking about that? And an initiation of a whole new cycle. Your life is expanding in profound and wondrous ways. New experiences and ideas are emerging. Vitality and wide open opportunities are at hand. Seize the day, carpe diem. This is a perfect time to begin that new project or give birth to an emerging idea. Timing is everything, and the time is now. Anything and everything is possible. I'm hearing Everything is Everything by Lauryn Hill. Good fortune awaits you. The rising sun is the ultimate symbol of the yang principle. Expanding power and activity. I was going to say creativity. That's more feminine. Activity. You are now radiant and luminous. There is a glow within you that can be felt by all. And the next one is openness. Okay, Spirit. Let's go to taking risks. Let's talk more about that. Thank you so much. This is insane. This is insane. This is going to find who it's meant to. High plateau. I just heard hitting a peak. No, baby. You can have as many peaks as you want. A high plateau is a large flat area of land that is significantly higher than the landscape around it. The sides, at least 1 or 2, are sheer and steep. These formations are typically caused by the upwelling of volcanic magma, tectonic movement, or even erosion. Some indigenous group call these tablelands. I might say this wrong, and if I do, please leave me a kind correction in the comments. Tepui, which means house of the gods. When you stand at the edge of one of the sheer walls, you can feel that you are in the place of the gods. If you know what language that is, because it just says indigenous, right? And I think that we usually utilize the word indigenous for like just American cultures, but we are really all indigenous to somewhere, right? And I mean, all human beings are indigenous to Africa. So like that word is, you know, You know, if you know, you know. But again, not to diminish the experience that certain people who do identify within that term, that, you know, let's honor the reality of their experience, and that it was difficult, or that it may have been difficult, or that they may have experienced and may continue to experience things that human beings shouldn't have to, because no human being is illegal, no human being is wrong, right? Okay, let's continue. Thank you, Spirit. When you draw this card, it is time to step beyond your normal everyday life. Take some risks, face your fears, do things in a new and even unorthodox way. Listen more to your inner voice than to the voices and opinions of others. Rather than running from potential failure, embrace it. Oof. Let's say that again. Rather than running from potential failure, embrace it, right? It was right before I started this reading too, because this posting videos of myself doing it, reading cards and doing it in this way is new to me, right? And so I've been having a really interesting, I don't want to say back and forth with it, but I mean, the energy has been intense, and just really getting straight on, really getting clear on is a better word, on how I want to present myself and how I want to express myself, and the things that I want to express, knowing that I'm not speaking to everybody, because I know not everybody is open to hearing these things. It's been quite a bit. So I had to remind myself, like, everything is a practice, always and forever. Even if you do something feeling like you're good at it, even once you've hit that peak performance where you're on the stage living your best life, doing what you finally want to do, like, it still then continues to be a practice. So let that be a reminder to all of us, like, anything that we do, any change takes repetition, anything new takes practice, because that's what it is. That's what our habits are. It is just a consistent practice of choice. And the more intentional you are, the more intentions that you receive from Spirit. History has shown that those willing to face failure, why is that word weird to me right now? Because I can't even say it, because there's no such thing, right? That's what it is. There's no such thing as failure, babe. See how I said that clearly like that right there? Because there's no such thing. History has shown that those willing to face failure will often succeed in a massive way later. Exactly. It's because those that are willing to face failure are the ones that are holding the vision clearly. They're holding that vision clearly in their mind. Right? Oh, how did they say that? I just watched The Woman King. And he said this was a consistent theme in the movie. Being a great leader is following a vision that maybe other people don't have, right? So let's continue on to opportunity. Healing chaos, inner peace, miracles. How about opportunity? There we go. Moon through the pine trees. Yes, I've been thinking about camping a lot lately. Thank you, Spirit. And we just hit a full moon. Was it yesterday? Yesterday morning? Full moon in Sagittarius, I think. An occasional owl hoot and the song of a solo coyote punctuate the stillness in the forest as a traveler walks through the pines. I laugh because there are some owls that live in my neighborhood, and hearing them, it just feels like hitting the lottery. But also, I've been seeing a lot of coyotes, like even like within city limits. So maybe that's significant. Or the hockey team, or hockey is significant maybe, because is that the Phoenix Coyotes? Is that what it is? I don't know sports that well. Light from a waning moon filters down through the canopy of needles and cascades across the forest floor. Sometimes the trees obscure the moon, but sometimes its illumination clearly shows the path ahead. Oh my God, Spirit. Oh my God, Spirit. When I was on my hike the other night, it was a full moon hike. Did it on Saturday night. And we literally got to the point where the sun was down, but the moon was literally igniting our trail, like perfectly. We didn't need our headlamps. That's wild, Spirit. Wow. Don't you just love it when the synchronicities come so full? It's like, that's what it is. we have such a weird thing going on with validation right now, because we live in a world where we need it, of course, right? Because as social creatures, we depend on other social creatures to help fulfill our cups. It's ingrained in us as mammals, as animals that need to be nurtured for the first few years, several years of our life. And a lot of us didn't get that, right? So it's like, where was I going with that, Spirit? Path ahead. Oh, the synchronicities. I don't know where I was going with that. This energy is so... Oh, that's what it was. Validation. Thank you, Spirit. It's like, I try to operate in my world where I don't really like need the validation, right? I know that I got a certain kind of look. Not everybody's gonna be into it. I know that I have a certain kind of language. Not everybody's gonna be into it, right? But it still takes practice to still be willing to share it, right? Again, I'm seeing the strength card in my mind's eye. Like, it takes vulnerability to be like, no, I'm gonna show up with what I have, even though it might not fit into boxes that other people want things to fit into, because people are so controlling and judgmental, because that's what gives them some semblance of control, is by trying to control other people. But you can't actually control other people. Other people are inevitably going to be responsible for themselves, you know? And that's probably full circle as why this energy is so heavy, because we have literally lived, and we still live in a world where people try to control other people in a very literal sense, in a very physical sense, in a very inappropriate senses, in very inappropriate ways. People try to control other people and take their rights away and do things like that. And this is so crazy sensitive. Let's take another breath for these people, Spirit, because let's take a moment for our family that has passed on. There's gonna be some special people to find this video. There's gonna be some special people to find this video where this much sweat is dripping from my back and my chest, man. It's crazy. Okay. Sometimes the trees obscure the moon, but sometimes its illumination clearly shows the path ahead. Pines are one of the most ancient plant genera on the planet. Did I say that word right? You'll let me know if I didn't. They have existed nearly 3 times longer than all flowering plant species. Because most pines stay green all winter, they traditionally represent longevity, immortality, fertility, health, and abundance. The moon and her gossamer glow represents the feminine and receptive side of life, just as the moon receives and reflects the light of the sun. Symbolically, the moon represents receiving the goodness of the universe flowing to you. I'm seeing the moon card in my mind's eye, but we still got the sun here, right? Because we need the sun for her to be illuminated at all. Even in the pain, we need that illumination to honor it. Discomfort. Gifts from the universe are ready to cascade into your life. Abundance, health, longevity, vitality, and joy are flowing to you gently and easily in the days ahead. There may be times when the goodness of life feels like it is ebbing and flowing rather than being a steady stream of fulfillment. This is similar to the moon peeking through the pines for a moment or two. But as you stay open and receptive, physical and emotional gifts will come into your life, instead of bemoaning the fact that there isn't a steady and constant stream of joy and gifts from the universe. Accept whatever you receive in the spirit of gratitude, and your bounty will increase tenfold. That is universal law. That's true. Gratitude. It's gratitude. And that's why I go on hikes, because that helps me check my gratitude. And that's why I go on walks, because that helps me check my gratitude. Because not only am I so grateful to live on planet Earth, but I'm so grateful to have a body and all of my senses intact to be able to experience it in this way. Right? I've got ears to hear the birds. I've got eyes to see the mountains and the skies. Right? I've got legs that can walk to them. What else could I possibly need, right? We have everything that we need. It's just that a lot of us were raised by people who had us with the purpose in mind of like, these children are going to solve something for us, right? I'm going to have these kids because they're going to resolve a problem, or they're going to help around the house, like that energy, instead of, no, I want to be able to nurture this new life and love on this new life. No. No, we're gonna give them expectations. We're gonna give brand new life expectations that we don't even show them how to meet. We just tell them that they have to meet it. Or we tell them that they have to meet it and they see how much we're struggling and they see how miserable we are, and we're gonna convince them that they should do it anyways. We're gonna convince them that this is the way to go. This is the life that you want. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Last card. Vast galaxy, enlightenment. Our beautiful home galaxy is so large that if you traveled at the speed of light, it would take you 100,000 years to go from one end to the other. Anyone know anybody here that would survive that trip? I don't. Well, not in these bodies. It is small compared to some galaxies. For example, the Hercules A galaxy would take 1.5 million years to cross at the speed of light. The realm of galaxies is so vast and so wide that it is beyond human comprehension, which is why the galaxy often symbolizes great enlightenment as well as the faith in the forces. Wow. As well as faith in the forces much greater than us. That's facts. Enlightenment occurs when one steps out of the confines of an... Okay. Spirit's highlighting. We want to come back to that. As well as the faith in the forces much greater than us. Circling back to the general message of this reading with the sensitivity of people who have experienced so much harshness and oppression and just terror. Let us, yeah, me and Spirit and I are here, everyone's here, that no good parent, no good creator would create more than one thing and be like, yeah, I'm gonna favor that in reality. I'm gonna create something that has free will and that has consciousness, and I'm gonna favor that over another one. No, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen, because if you do that, then the energy becomes imbalanced. And as we can see how much the energy has become imbalanced, how much humans have become parasitic because of the damage that we're causing to this beautiful planet and its other inhabitants, because we continue to project lack, fear, and hate instead of alchemizing it into love. Okay. Enlightenment occurs when one steps out of the confines of an ordinary definition of self and expands into a greater awareness of the self within the universe. You are now reaching into the invisible realm of spirit and connecting with what you cannot see. Forces beneath the surface are supporting you on your journey. Have faith in yourself. You are so much more than you believe yourself to be. Have patience that there is a plan unfolding. The sky is the limit, but it's even not. This card represents enlightenment and signals that you are entering into a time of expansive transformation in a luminous and remarkable way. Trust that the changes ahead are for the greater good, for most certainly they are. You heard it here first, second, third. I don't know what order you heard it here, but you heard it here, folks. This energy this is wild, and I'm feeling so glad to finally have gotten it out in that way. Spirit is finally yep, nope. That's pretty much what we had to say. Thank you. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for healing, because babe, I know it's not been easy. I'm sure you do not look like what you've been through. That's what Natija's been talking about a lot lately. You do not look like what you've been through. But you are alchemizing it. You are doing it. Dang, I'm already 45 minutes into this. You are alchemizing it. And I'm sending you a lot of love and light on this journey, because we all could use it. Be kind to one another. Be kind to yourself. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.